Good morning, guys. Welcome to your Thursday guided reading lesson. Today, we're going to talk about sequencing. Okay? So, we're going to use the pages that we have read, and we're going to sequence going from a bean to the actual delicious thing we call chocolate. Okay? So, let's look at page 12. So on page 12, we start from beans to chocolate. So starting on page 12, it starts giving you, in sequence order, how to go from a bean to chocolate. So the first thing that needs to be done is you need to take the beans and have them go through the fermented process, which is actually a very long process, okay? So, first, after they've gone through the process, you are going to clean and remove. So, clean and remove any pulp or pieces of the pods by putting them into, okay? So, first, you're going to clean and remove any pulp or pieces of the pods. Then, you're going to take the cleaned and cleaned and blended beans and start roasting them to bring out the chocolate flavor. From then, so as the beans are roasted and the thin shell that covers them grows brittle. So brittle means thin. So after they're in the roaster and they're being blended, the shell is becoming brittle. And now you're starting to get that chocolate taste. So as the shell is coming off the bean, they have fans inside the blenders that is taking away all the shell. Okay, so now let's go to page 13. After the shells are removed, and there's a key word after the shells are removed, only the meaty part of the bean called the nib remains. So after this process, you're left with the meat, the nib part of the bean. That is the most important part, because as you see here, the nibs are grounded up and crushed until they become a liquid. So you're going to take this, and your next step is to make a liquid. Okay? From a liquid, the liquid is poured into molds, and molds is something that you can shape. So they're put into molds, which are shapes of bars. Okay? And you have bitter, unsweetened chocolate. So it's not very good. So an idea of what you could think of dark chocolate. Okay, you have dark chocolate. That's what it would taste like. Now, the bars need to cool. Then the bars are then pressed until the most important part of the chocolate. So then you have them in your tray. You're going to push on them. And you get a yellow liquid that is known as cocoa butter. Cocoa butter is the chocolate that we eat. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, my lotion says cocoa butter. Yes, but we're not talking about taking cocoa butter out of your lotion and making it as chocolate, okay? Those are two separate things. So after the liquid cocoa butter is removed, the solid part of the bar, so this is when you take the solid part of the bar and they start grinding it, and then you get a cocoa powder dust. That is what you use for dairies, bakeries. So that's what they use to flavor baked goods or make chocolate milk. Okay, so that's is sent off to like oak farms to make chocolate milk. Now, the chocolate we eat is made in the final step. So the final step, and it's known as coaching. Coaching takes place in machines with big rollers. So a mixture of sugar. So this is when you add your ingredients to make that fantastic chocolate we like. So a mixture of sugar, cocoa powder, cocoa butter, and other ingredients such as milk and vanilla is placed in the machines and rolled and mixed until it is smooth. Once it is smooth, you are then going to pour it into molds. Once again, you put it into molds. And then after it has, completely cooled down, then you can wrap it and ship it. So Another popular form of white chocolate, so instead you would use white chocolate is made by mixing sugar, milk, solids directly with the cocoa butter. So this is how you get white chocolate. So white chocolate is actually made the same way as chocolate, except you wouldn't add like cocoa butter. I'm sorry, you wouldn't add cocoa powder into making white chocolate because white chocolate is white, milk chocolate is brown. Okay? I want you to look closely at the pictures. As you can see on page 14 and 15, you have pictures. So they're giving you pictures of the steps on making our chocolate. Okay? Now, let's stop right there. So those are the steps on making chocolate. That's important. There's a reason why Miss Montoya went over that very clearly. You are going to need that on your activity for today. So, let's continue. Okay, so let's continue about our KWL chart. So let's talk about what I know. So we know that chocolate comes in flavors, and we know chocolate is a comfort food. What I want to learn is how long does it take to make chocolate? It doesn't come out and tell us how long, but I'm more than certain it takes about a week or more. It's a very long process. I doubt it's done in one day, okay? And is chocolate naturally sweet? We all know the answer to that, and it's no. Chocolate is not naturally sweet because they said in the story it has what kind of taste? That's right, a bitter taste. Now, on here we put things that we learned. One thing I could put is the chocolate process is actually a very long process. So this is important. You can keep adding to what you learned, okay? Now, let's go into our Thursday's word work. We're still working with controlled R. I'm sorry, not controlled R. We're still working with vowels and R's, okay? So, as you see up here, I put 4 words. Care, torn, born, boring. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to label the vowel and underline. So let's label the vowel and underline. Underline the R. So let's look at care. What would be the vowel? A. And the R, okay? Torn. O. R. Born. O. R. Boring. O. Oops. Miss Montoya made a mistake. This is the vowel. This should be underlined. This is the vowel, and this should be underlined, okay? Now, the reason why this is important, guys, is because when you're trying to spell out a word, if you know that, so like if you take the word boring, you know that the vowel comes before the R. So, you would put or, and you could sound it out and break it up into parts. Okay? So that is your word work for today. Now, the assignment that I am going to give you for today, and remember, tomorrow is Friday and it is a holiday. So, today I'm going to have you sequence how to make chocolate, and you'll find that on a Google slide. And if you want, you are more than welcome to finish reading the story. It goes into the history of chocolate, and basically it's just the history of it. So it goes back to Christopher Columbus, and it goes into a Spanish explorer who takes the chocolate and realizes that the beans are actually really more important, like they have more to them. It's not just a bean. Okay? So you're more than welcome to finish the story. I hope you enjoy your day off tomorrow, and I will see you Monday. Bye, guys.